Let's take a look at some of the devastation from the hurricane in North Carolina.
Breaking news on Hurricane Helene. President Biden has been briefed on FEMA's response and intends to travel to affected communities this week. The death toll from Helene has risen to at least 89 people, including 30 people in Buncombe County, North Carolina alone. Biden approved a major disaster declaration for North Carolina earlier today. North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper joins me by phone. Give us an update on where things are now.
This is obviously a catastrophic event, historic. People in Western North Carolina say they have never seen anything like it. Our priority right now is to get people out and to get supplies in.
Natural disasters has the U.S. had this year? Depends on what you're talking about. You would have to go region by region because earthquakes, blizzards, wildfires, hurricanes, tornadoes, if you want to count the industrial accidents, I mean, you'd be in the triple digits.
I've been talking with administrators.
And we do treat mass shootings like natural disasters, so yeah, it's hard to count.
Team Administrator Criswell, she's coming tomorrow. We will be out there working to make sure that we're getting assistance to people as quickly as possible. We're also pushing to get cell service back up. Some of it has come up.
From North Carolina, this shit hurts. Only Bees, first of all, welcome in. I hope you and your family and your community are safe. Any updates you can give us would be appreciated. You know, any kind of insight as to what it looks like on the ground would be greatly appreciated.
Governor, you mentioned that you had a conversation with the president. You know, we're looking at a video from earlier today in Asheville.
I will link a disaster preparedness device in the chat right now. This is a Eaton Odyssey hand crank NOAA weather radio. It is a solar panel charged and hand crank charged radio and power bank that you can plug in devices to. Highly recommend everybody have this just like in your grab bag for emergencies. We have one of these. I highly recommend it. They're like $80. Obviously, if you're in the zone of, concern right now, you're not going to be able to like order one, but for future preparedness, make sure you got something like this. Thanks, Dad. You're welcome.
North Carolina. In your conversation with the president, can you tell us, did you give him the scope of the damage in your state? Tell us what you told him about how widespread the damage is in North Carolina.
Yeah, I told him that all of Western North Carolina was affected and that many roads were impassable. A lot of people are still stranded and aren't able to communicate. He is doing everything he can. He gave us this federal disaster.
My in-laws' home got flooded by 3+ feet. Cars were swept away. Lots of small towns are still totally isolated. People can't contact their families. No roads in or out. It's so awful, man. It's so bad. And as someone who lives in an area, I mean, literally 2-3 weeks ago, I was out of power for 4 days. Like, this shit is unacceptable. Richest country on the planet. Got all the money to send to Israel to do their fucking, ethno-state project. But God fucking forbid we spend money on our infrastructure. God forbid we spend money to move away from fossil fuels. Just can't do it. Can't even hold to the minimal value of not doing fracking. Couldn't even hold to that, Kamala Harris. Because Oklahoma's got earthquakes now. Flint, Michigan still doesn't have clean water because of water contamination. But God forbid we hold to a value of, I don't think that we should be doing groundwater contamination, personally. Because you don't want to upset the oil and gas lobby. As if it matters that you held to it. Or that you lied about it, as if it matters that you lied about, no, I love fracking, because the Republican Party and the right are still like, nope, she wants to ban fracking. You're like, no, I love fracking. We're gonna do so much fracking. They're like, nope, she wants to ban it. So like, why? Why lie about it in the first place? But why not just lean into it? Why not just go, look, the Republican Party doesn't want you to have clean drinking water. The Republican Party wants areas that don't have earthquakes to have earthquakes. It's so easy to countermeasure against that. There is not some genetic like proclivity that people in Pennsylvania have towards fracking. All you had to tell them is, hey, you've been working in the fracking industry for a long time. And like your forefathers before you, the industries that built your communities are being phased out. We're going to ensure that not only do you have stable income, but you have job training and are paid to do it to move into green energy. You're a welder. Guess what? You're going to be welding together some, like solar farms, some wind farms. Manual labor is manual labor. You're going to be helping like haul these things across all of Pennsylvania. It's very easy. Goddamn.
Declaration last night. People can now go onto the website disasterassistance.gov and get individual FEMA help, which is something that is important. It's also turned on the tap to significant federal resources. He knows that we've got to make sure we save.
What is this, you link chatter? Does anyone have a plane/helicopter that they would be willing to help my wife and I get home in? We are trapped in Black Mountain, no food or water, and we have a medically complex handicapped son who requires around-the-clock care, medications, and a ventilator. Please help. Update. Earlier today, my wife and I sat in the Black Mountain Ingalls parking lot, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Ingalls refused to open or sell anything to anyone, even turning away families with small children and babies. Families begging to purchase diapers and formula were turned away. And we don't have anything. When they could see clearly through the front windows that was a lie. We were then told to go home because there was a curfew beginning at 7 p.m. Cops began to barricade the front door with their vehicles. Here are some pics from the second day. And this right here, I want to remind everybody, there's like mud on the ground, dude, from the mudslide. I want to remind everybody, this right here is a picture of police blocking a dumpster outside of a Walmart in riot gear. The people eventually got to the dumpster. But hey guys, socialism is when bread lines. I don't ever want to hear from anybody about how police are there to protect the community. No, they are there to protect the profits. One of many reasons I'm moving out of Texas is I know the climate scenario here will continue to degrade, but you have to ask yourself, where is far enough to escape the coming catastrophes? It's going to be like the Pacific Northwest. It's going to be places like Minnesota. It's going to be places where like the winters suck because they're not going to be as bad in like 3 decades if we don't change course. And I'm not one of those people who says, nope, we are past the point of no return, because it's not true, right? Our climate is changed forever, but you can do things to improve it. I am not one of the people who like falls to doomerism. Things can be better. It can. And if there was like, we were looking at the families who were being stopped by police from going into that grocery store. People don't starve for long. I don't know what it looks like on the ground in Asheville right now, but those cops, they're going to start shooting people unless aid gets into that town. It's either the cops are going to start shooting the people who are refugees, or it's going to be people are going to club those cops to death.